Hey, and welcome to I Guess, a show where I hate everything until someone convinces me otherwise. I'm Lex Basile Price, and ring lights, the best ones, are squares. With me today is the beautiful and hilarious Allison Levitan.
Hi, Lex.
Hi! To those of you listening out there, Allison is my husband's childhood best friend, and I have known her for almost 20 years.
2008.
It's wild.
And the first time we hung out, remember, there was a photo of the two of us that made my ex-boyfriend jealous. Your thing you were the most proud of for a good decade.
Oh, yeah. The fact that he thought I was a straight man?
Oh, yeah. I know that was the biggest reason. Yeah. Back in MySpace, may it rest, you and I hung out and we took some like cute duck face photos as one did at the time. And my ex was like, who's that? I noticed that there was this guy you were posting with. And I go, he's seeing Chris. And he's like, oh, okay, really?
I looked so homosexual in that picture. I know exactly what that picture looks like, and I looked so
I can
homosexual.
picture it in my head. This, you could perfectly see the jawline. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, you crowed about that. You really ate out on that for a long time.
Oh, yeah. But how are you wrong today?
I am wrong about E.T. the Ride at Universal Studios Hollywood.
What? That just set me back into time.
As it should.
As I am like 10 years old on a bike machine being terrified.
Yes, there were parts of it that were scary. Well, so that's why I thought this would been, I did run my very long time best friend, Chris, your husband. I sent him, here are some lists of ones. What do you think is best? And he said, well, he already loves these other things, but he might not be as familiar with E.T. the Ride because growing up in Orange County, you were a Disneyland girly.
Well, yes and no. Actually, we were more Knott's Berry Farm fam.
The budget.
Budget Disney. Disney growing up from like young child to like teens. Disneyland was the place that we went when my family from England was in town.
Oh.
Because it was like, fancy time.
You're showing off.
We're showing off. Because Disneyland, for those who don't know, is motherfucking expensive. It always has been, always will be.
It's reached new levels of inaccessibility, though.
Yeah, I've never had an annual pass. I've never been an AP holder because once I became a teenager,
I knew everyone who worked there.
Yeah, I just got signed in.
Yeah,
which was the only way to do Disneyland. I don't remember the last time I paid for Disneyland, but we would sometimes go to Universal Studios. Very rarely.
Like once every couple of years, maybe?
Maybe. It was usually, once again, when we had family visiting and they were like, ooh, I want to see what Hollywood's like. And it was like, oh yeah, Universal Studios. But I remember as a child there being like 3 things to do at Universal Studios.
Well, but you know what? I mean, listen, it was always a theme park, but there was a little more Hollywood aspect. And I actually didn't even realize until recently, it opened in like the 19th, like they were doing like a studio tour in the 60s, I think even maybe like some version of it for a nickel in the 1915.
Just a buffalo nickel to go see Universal
and there was something
Studios.
With bleachers. The Wikipedia was unclear. But yeah, and then they did the tram tour and it just slowly evolved into a theme park. But yeah, like when I was a kid, when you were a kid, the tram tour was different. You would sometimes be like, hey, you can see a little, I distinctly remember seeing these giant floats pushed off to the side in the back lot. And they're like, we're filming this new movie starring Sinbad and Arnold Schwarzenegger. Arnold Schwarzenegger probably got top billing, called Jingle All the Way.
No, excuse me. Sinbad definitely got top billing in Jingle All the Way.
In that movie where Arnold plays a regular man from Minnesota.
I have a child and we are from Minnesota.
But, I mean, I could do a whole other episode about the tram tour. Long story short, it used to be like a bit of a behind the scenes mixed with a Jungle Cruise, and now it's hosted all in video by Jimmy Fallon, and it's basically more a ride than anything else, and it hurts I guess it hurts my soul.
It's a video ride?
So they used to have drivers and hosts, so there'd be one driver and then there would be the host, and he'd be at the front, and there would be little video, there was always little screens and they'd show little snippets, or sometimes it'd be
from like a clip of the movie, or
be like, I'm Julia Roberts. I mean, Steven Spielberg, but Steven Spielberg's gonna come up in the thing I'm talking about.
I'm Arnold Schwarzenegger. Welcome to Universal
to Minnesota, Universal Minnesota. Yeah, something like that. And and then they have little clips or somebody's like, hey, we're about to go, this is where where Charles Bronson parted the Red Sea, the 10 Commandments. Here's a little clip of what that looked like, or something like that.
Yeah.
But ultimately it was I'd say more than half of it was the tour guide talking about things, pointing stuff out. And now they do almost nothing. And then it's all TV screens and it's
that's wild. That's not what you would go for.
No, well, I think they're going for a theme park. They just sort of abandoned I mean, you'll see like, oh, look, there's a parking space next to the Good Place lot, and it says Tea Dancing. Woo!
Wow, we're in a parking lot, y'all.
Here are the production offices for Amblin. Look,
you know
these bungalows have been here for X amount of years.
They were supposed to be temporary.
Yes, they were supposed to be
I hate the Jimmy Fallon aspect. Number one,
as
obviously.
You should.
But there is part of me that actually would love the like actual behind the scenes tour where it's only production offices. Here's where HR is located. Harvey Weinstein threw a brick here.
I would love the behind the scenes of the most absolute bullshit minutia. There's a quick aside. We started putting on this like Bird TV YouTube channel for our cat. And it's one of these things where it's a live stream of various like woodland creatures and birds all coming. And it's not even a supercut. It's a live channel. And all of these different creatures are converging into this one spot. And I was like, I would watch a 30-minute documentary about how someone puts together these channels. Where are they located? How are they attracting these many different types of animals?
Right.
I have so many questions and there are no answers. So yes, to your point, I would love a behind the scenes about absolute bullshit.
Were you a fan of any other theme park, or it was just like you kind of liked the non-theme parkness of Universal Studios?
I mean, yes and yes. I mean, yes and yes. I did love Disneyland because I'm not dead inside.
Sure.
I would go at least once a year. We were part of in fact, how I met Chris is we were part of a summer camp that was sports focused. Neither of us enjoy sports.
I believe it was called Sports Plus.
I didn't know if I wanted to like call it out by name, but yes, it was called Sports Plus. And I only joined, I only asked, the plus was all these other things. I looked it up later because I was telling my husband about it. As I'm telling him all the things we did, I was like, fuck, that must have been expensive. And so like they were taking us to a different theme park every Friday. Then what was it? It was Monday was like a movie or like mini golf. Then Tuesday was sports. Wednesday was like a beach day, or you could stay there and do sports. And then Thursday was sports. And then Friday was some sort of theme park.
And this is why you and Chris became friends, because neither of you wanted to participate in the sports.
And then they must have realized, hey, we have people who really love joining this camp. I went because a bunch of people who I was in first and second grade with, when the brief time I was at a private school, they all went there. And so I was like, oh, let me be friends. It wasn't because my parents had any lofty ideas about me being interested in sports. But then they added, which in hindsight, I'm like, wow, this is the most LA thing possible. They added drama classes with the teacher that was my drama teacher at my later elementary school. And so then Chris and I definitely bonded because they just said, hey, fuck the sports. You want to be a theater kid? Go nuts. But we went to theme park. I definitely feel like I remember mooching, being like funnel cake magpie for Chris because he always got like, we would all get sent with like 15 or 20. And I feel like he got like 20, 30 or 40s. He was like big spender at the theme park. God, man, why did he become friends with me? So I would go at least once a year for the summer, and occasionally, and I would go maybe like once every 1 to 2 years with parents, like family. Universal, I feel like we went once a summer, and I might have gone more just because
it's close.
It's so close. Yeah, I grew up in the Valley.
I remember it not being very expensive comparatively.
No, I mean, nothing is.
They knew that like we don't got that much at Universal Studios.
Yeah.
So
but to answer your question, I do like other theme parks. I like probably Disney, really, because they're really only Universal, Six Flags, Knott's, which at the time kind of felt like a museum that had jam. It wasn't that exciting. I feel like I would have a newfound appreciation now as an adult. And then Disney. I hated roller coasters. I've since adapted them a little more. I didn't like thrill rides, and Disney was fine, but Universal, I did kind of like the nothingness.
Sure.
And so I felt that was probably my first like I'm different original
yeah.
thing for liking it,
I'm
because
not like
it was,
other kids.
I don't even think I was being a poser. I think I just sort of, it was the first thing where I was very different and then I embraced it as opposed to being like, I'm so sorry.
You liked
Please
the
still like me.
vibe. You liked the
Yes.
vibe of theme park without necessarily what makes a theme park like enjoyable to other people.
1000%. And I would be really excited. Everyone's like, "Ugh, Universal." And I'm like, yeah, Universal.
We get to just walk around.
Yeah, don't you also want to see the tiny little I Love Lucy in Memoriam Museum that's roughly the size of one of those cigarette stands in a parking lot? You don't want to go? Oh, so other dated things in Universal. Little preview. I'm upset the E.T. the ride is gone, and that was why it's something I feel very. You didn't realize it was gone?
No, I thought that scary monstrosity was there forever.
Well, I'll have words with you about that later. But that is why I have been upset about it for 20 years. But it was right next to the special effects sound stages on the lower lot, which were, and I fully respect that these are very dated and have been updated, and that's fine. It was like, oh, we're going to behind the scenes of how we do the special effects. So it started with the Alfred Hitchcock room, and they talked about, they showed little scenes from stuff, a little supercut of various effects. They talked about how, you know, the blood was chocolate syrup, and how you notice the knife never actually goes into the skin. It just is like against the skin behind. It was like voguing, but it was a knife. And
right.
It was her bare stomach. And then they would try to recreate, I think it was Vertigo, where how to make it look like someone was dangling off the Statue of Liberty's torch. Then you go into something where they talk about fire effects, and it's the Backdraft.
I remember that Backdraft room. I never saw the movie Backdraft. The only reference I ever had to Backdraft was that experience.
I think that was most kids' only reference.
And I remember despising it because it was hot as balls in there.
Oh, it was.
Not a child that appreciated heat.
No. Yeah, but you're like, ooh, fire! Like it felt like dangerous. You're really going to get someone who's going to be a professional. And I think there might have been a third one that I'm forgetting. But the finale was the sound studio, the Harry and the Hendersons Foley studio, and you get to recreate the noise, and you're gonna like rattle this big sheet of metal, and it sounds like thunder. Yes, those are all of a time. God bless. But then next to it was the E.T. ride. So it was opened actually first in the Florida location.
Okay.
And I believe it was the first, either both locations, definitely in Hollywood, the first indoor, what they call a dark ride, indoor ride with like that actually goes through like think of Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
In Disney terms, Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, or any of the storybook rides, I think, are considered dark
Yes,
rides.
exactly. There are rumors that this was actually their, or it's theorized that they were trying to make this like their Peter Pan's adventure.
I was going to say, this feels very Peter Pan's adventure.
Yeah. And I guess despite all of my ranting about other Universal Studios Hollywood to the contrary, I'm not like a theme park girly. I'm not someone who like has all these opinions and like loves roller coaster this. I'm also not like a Spielberg apologist. Like I'm not like Dawson Leary. I don't have like strong feelings.
That's how I've always described you though.
Dawson Leary?
Yeah, but it's mostly
it's mostly how I ugly cry.
Yeah.
And my hair's really floppy.
Really floppy. And blonde and center parted.
It's a little less center parted now. I was using a side part, and then apparently some rude children said you can spot a millennial with a side part. No. And I was like, oh, fuck. I have to.
You know what?
My camouflage.
Let me give you this lesson, Allison. Don't listen to those ugly children. They ain't got it. We gonna look 30 forever.
I was afraid of teenagers when I was one, so
Sure.
this is embedded in me.
Don't be afraid of those teenagers. They all have lead poisoning.
Well, and they're also, I mean, listen, they're interested in skincare, but they're also the ones that are testing out all these drunk elephant peels and serums and stuff. So they're either going to look amazing when they get older, or they're going to have completely fucked their protective barrier and they're going to look like shit. Only time will tell.
They've fucked their protective barrier, and they've injected their face so much with fillers too young that their faces. And they vape. That's where the lead's coming from.
Oh, that's the lead. I don't know. I didn't even question what you're like. Lead poisoning, sure, whatever.
Yeah. No. They found there's been a recent study that there's higher rates of lead in Gen Z people because of e-cigarettes and vaping.
Viva la millennial!
Zoomers indeed.
But okay, all that said, despite not being either of those things, I have very strong feelings about E.T. the Ride.
Okay.
So you do remember it. How
Yes.
much do you remember?
I remember that you were on bikes,
Mhm.
and there were like, let's say like 6. I think it was more than this, but it was like six bikes.
Yeah.
All bunched together.
Yeah.
And you were going through the movie at first. And then in my memory, you went to the ET planet and it became the sequel. And it wasn't what we knew as ET.
Yeah. So it kind of, I think the way Spielberg viewed it, it was sort of the closest thing to a sequel we would get. So I guess presumably ET would have gone home and then he'd come back to Earth, like check on Elliot, make sure he's good. And then you had to find the
bike riding person.
The bicyclist had to get ET back to his home planet because his planet was dying. And then they show this video, which is way too triggering in an era of climate change because it's like a bad infographic of a planet and you can slowly see brown just like slowly spreading across the globe a bit.
Yeah, we all know what that looks like.
Whew, I got a little just talking about that. But yeah, so you have to get him home. And it's sort of a recreation, but you're right, it is kind of like Bell's movie, but then something new.
Yeah.
It's a recreation of that chase scene at the end.
Right.
And the part that was really scary to me, and I don't know if this is what you're referring to, is that you're riding and like you're in this forest you're basically like throughout the California forest.
It's like redwood foresty, right?
I think it's I think it was modeled after the redwood forest. I don't know where it's supposed to take place. I know it was all filmed in Simi, but
yeah. But I have like, and I could be completely wrong, but I have like this sense memory that the trees were like really big. But that might be just in ET Planet.
No, you're right. So they were designed to make. So I already had a lot of strong opinions, but I did a little research, and now I'm like ready to give you this info. I feel very proud of myself.
Great. So it doesn't have to just be vibes.
Or be like, I guess I'll have to look that up later. I'll get back to you. Right. Can we pause while I click, like some ASMR where I just look up ET facts?
ASMR comes up almost every fucking episode of this podcast. I don't know what it says about me, but I must invoke that in people. It's because I have such a lovely voice. And
I don't even think of ASMR.
I have no idea.
I don't feel like you're particularly like
it's
my
because I'm
grandmother.
so loud.
But I'm loud. I don't think anyone thinks of me about ASMR.
Anyway, sorry. It is wild. You are not the first by far to be like, let's talk about ASMR.
Yeah. Click, clack. Anyways, it was designed so the trees are supposed to, so the cue we're going to love for, but like they're supposed to look really tall because they kind of go off into the dark. But yeah. So you're riding through the forest. And then you see like the government, don't worry about it, who were like, we have to get him over, chasing him, whatever. And then there was one part that always scared me as a kid where the front of the truck comes in through the side of the forest and it comes at you and you don't expect it. Is that the part you were thinking of? Because that scared the crap out of me.
That's one part that like immediately like is triggering.
Yes.
I don't like a car lights coming from the side because it was from the side, wasn't it?
Well, I mean, everything. I mean, yeah, because everything in front of you was just
but it was like very much like you were not meant to be looking at it when it stopped.
No, it was a complete surprise. Then all of a sudden a car's coming at you. I think I may have even as a very young child like hidden my eyes in my like father's arm like a fucking wuss. Oh yeah, I'm also a wuss, which is another reason why I think I liked Universal.
Sure.
as an aside. But yeah, so that's you to the chase scene and so that's how it is. So the full experience of the ride is, because like the rides themselves are like 30 seconds long, but the experience and the queue and the pre-show, that's really what you're going to see, especially when it's a non-amusement park, as you said. But yeah, you're supposed to save it. Steven Spielberg in a video comes out behind a redwood tree and says, "Hello there, I'm Steven Spielberg."
We're the movie theme park.
I mean, he is still the executive creative consultant for Universal. I looked this up on the official Universal Parks and Resort. Well, and that will come up with some other info I'm going to share with you. We will get to it. But so he's like, "Hi, I'm Steven Spielberg, and here is my friend E.T., and we need help from you. We need to get E.T. home because," and this little infographic, "because his planet is dying." And then E.T. comes down and goes, "Hello, Steven." My E.T. impression is much better than my Arnold Schwarzenegger impression, as you might have noticed. Hello, Steven. And he's like, only his healing touch can save his planet.
Why did he become Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer?
But Rudolph was just light. He was just a flashlight.
No, I know. But what I'm saying is, why did he have this magic touch?
I don't know. They did have a book, which apparently is what there's differing opinions that his planet at the end of it is based on a novel sequel called like E.T. and the Green Planet. And it talks about what happens immediately afterwards. There's all these characters, which a lot of them are like the names. Do you remember when you're walking through when you get into that little like the little holding pen for the ride where you see the little screen and Steven Spielberg talks about how badly he needs your help and only you can save him. And then you walk in and it's this quiet, peaceful forest. And that's where you're talking about where the trees seem really tall.
Yeah.
There is a very, very large cult following about the scent in this room. Do you remember it?
Yeah, I kind of remember it. I couldn't necessarily say what it is, but you've said that and I remember it being a very yes. It's like it's like knowing what a library book smells like.
Yes.
Where like I couldn't describe what that scent is, but I know what that scent is. But you know
when you see it, or when you smell it. Yeah, and I thought it was just me, and like over the years, whenever I've talked to people about E.T. the ride, they're like, and that smell? I'm like, yes, the fucking smell. It was like custom designed, and it's like pine, but it almost smells like
it's like
dewy.
petrichor too. It's
like dewy, but I'm sure people thinks it smells like mildew. Like some people think cilantro smells like soap, what have you.
You're wrong, but yeah.
Apparently, and I just learned this about 30 minutes before recording, that apparently they have made candles that are replicating that scent. And I do not have a lot of money right now, but I am very tempted to spend $18 that I don't need to spend on this fucking candle immediately.
Is there a more relaxing way to take a bath than smelling like E.T.'s home planet? No, I don't think so.
Well, no, but it's
it's the bride. Yeah.
Get your head out of your ass, Lex. It was the cue.
E.T.'s planet smells like ass. Rotted ass.
No, it's terrible. No, I was just saying it's the cue. It's not the planet. Come on. So you go and it's like peaceful and it weirdly feels like I think they might have had like the misters.
Yeah. They really they were really heavy into like 4D experience.
You can see like a speak and spell and a little I think there might have been a speak and spell like at a little cluster of bushes on like the outdoor line. And then there's this creature who looks like E.T. but a little different. And and you learn from the book that that's his teacher and it's named that I will have to look up. Basically his teacher at his home planet. And some people are like, well, how does he calling him back to his home planet if he's there? But then I feel like I saw a video of it looking like it was a video transmission. Yeah. So anyways, that's kind of giving you some pre-story, whatever.
Right.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me go back in the loading dock area. This is such a linear podcast.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I invited you on for linear
storytelling. Because I really just like keep things back. I don't get sidetracked at all. Yeah. This one of the biggest parts of the ride is you telling them your names at the end. So you go, you get the holding dock. This nice person in a Universal Studios blue button up says, "What's your name?" And they hand you this little card that's called like your intergalactic passport, brought to you by AT&T because they were the corporate sponsor.
Love that.
It was like AT&T was as big as the words ET on the thing.
AT&T?
I know what that joke.
Missed opportunity.
I think people don't fuck with like branding. It's like that the episode of Parks and Rec when they go to Jurassic Fork. And he's like, I'll have my everything had pun names, and Leslie's like, I'll have my steak medium roar, and she smirks and he's like medium rare and goes medium roar, and he's like, legally we can't make puns about the temperature of the meat.
Yeah. We can't pun the name. It's
exactly.
They're paying for all of this.
Yeah. But the whole phone home thing, obviously, it's this. So,
I think there were AT&T commercials with ET.
Oh, I'm sure. Probably even before the ride.
That's what I mean. That's what I think. That there were like phone commercials with ET.
Yeah, because the movie was in '82, and then the ride opened like almost 10 years later. So yeah. It was probably a long-standing corporate relationship. So you get the little card. And that's your passport. So you go, you walk this beautiful, relaxing setting. I let all my troubles as a 9-year-old just wash
all
away.
those troubles.
Because I didn't get a churro that day and it was really eating at me. And then you hand over your little passport to the person that leads you onto this like 6-person bicycle ride. And there's also the little basket in front, like the one in front of Elliot's thing. And so you can see the little back of Elliot's head, E.T.'s head covered in the blanket. So when he's scared, he goes like, he pops up and then he looks and then he goes down. I'm sure he had no face on the front of it, but from the back.
I'm sure it was actually pretty horrifying, whatever was in the front of that.
Yeah.
Because it was only in the front of the 6-person ride. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But it was those little extra touches. So you could kind of see it if you were in the back row, but if you really wanted to be like, I feel like Elliot in my red zip-up hoodie, just biking E.T. to freedom, you really had to be on the front. So I definitely like elbowed my way there as the gracious person.
You're a little 9-year-old bossy.
I have very sharp elbows, actually.
Do you?
That probably. Yeah, my mom used to make joke like she's like, "Oh, your sharp little elbows," but she also said my ear looked like a shell, so I think it was just like one of that weird mom things. And then I've since had it yelled at me by my husband if I like motion. He's like, "Your elbows are too sharp. Get them away from me."
Talk about sharp things. I found out recently, or I've made the realization, the reason that especially my toenails are very sharp, even if I will like cut them, because I'm very into like keeping everything neat and tidy. Mm-hmm. But I think I have like baby nails. Like I don't think I have very like great nails. But you know how
like the really thin, sharp ones?
Yes.
They could give you a paper cut?
Yes, because for years I used to bite my nails and no one could tell that I bit my nails because they like rip really easily. Like I'm able to like do it very cleanly. And I think my toenails are like that, especially. They're like these little like razors. Because I'll like cut them and do it and then I'll like rub my foot against my leg and I've like totally cut myself before.
So there's no science. You didn't do any research of being like, this is this. You're just like, I think I have baby fingernails, but on my toes.
I diagnosed myself with baby nails. Yeah.
I love how much thought you brought into this.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm going to see you in a couple weeks. So I feel like I'm going to need to feel your weird baby nails.
And you're going to cut and I'm going to give you like tetanus or something from it. Yeah.
Well, you know what? For any like, I guess completist, you're like, so what's new with me? Well, update. Friend of the pod, Allison.
In the hospital after cutting
hit
herself.
A vein.
Yeah.
I will thoughts and prayers.
I'll keep them away from her jugular. I promise.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, now I was very excited about your visit, but now I'm doubly so.
Were you a E.T. fan? And I'm going to guess the answer is yes because you saw yourself as a Drew Barrymore type.
Oh, you're giving this way too much thought. I was just born in '85, and E.T. is a beautiful movie, so okay. I liked it. I did name my pet rabbit Elliot, but I was also like 3 or 4. Like I probably
you only had so many names.
Yeah, I was like I'd seen maybe 10 movies total.
Yeah,
but no, I mean it's just Steven Spielberg has said like it's to this day he thinks it's his most perfect film. It's really great. So yeah, I like it. It's just a lovely film. I really didn't give any thought to Gertie. I probably thought of myself as an Elliot, maybe.
Sure.
But yeah, no, I just liked it because it's a nice movie. Okay. Again, I'm not even like a big E.T. fanboy. I just love this ride. It was always one of my favorites. That I got a little bit of that thrill ride experience because that Jeep came out of nowhere, and I
love. I don't think they ever figured out, and maybe you'll correct me, but I don't think they ever figured out to like how the theming of bicycles transporting you to space.
Oh no, they didn't. You just don't worry about it.
Yeah, you just were there because like at the beginning you're like, oh yeah, this makes sense. We're in the forest or whatever, and then we're on the planet.
And then you can oversee actually really well done miniature Los Angeles.
Yeah, I remember that part.
Florida
yeah.
or whatever. Yeah.
And then you were just in space.
Yeah, and then you saw what the dying creatures and plants and other aliens look like, and
this is where I was most horrified. I think it gave very like Little Mermaid, creepy, shrimpy people.
Which is funny because when I think about what the healthy planet celebration looks like, I think of Little Mermaid imagery. So it's very funny you say that. But yeah, the Ursula's prisoners.
Yeah, they made everyone really wrinkly and like
they're
desiccated.
Dying.
I know, but E.T. was not attractive to begin with.
Well, he had a pinkish glow. There were little baby ETs at the end, and those were cute.
Were they?
I thought so. I also think possums are cute. So listen.
I mean, I like possums. I love possums. I used to we had a family of possums that would visit our backyard when I was growing up, and we fed them quesadillas.
Because we were in Southern California.
Southern California.
Caliente possum.
You can have a quesadilla.
I that was on my list of things that I was gonna bring on the podcast because like he already loves possums.
I already
like,
love possums.
Yay!
I've literally, there's a TikTok account I follow, or I don't know if I follow them. I just get served them a lot, and it's like chaotic tattoos, like, and it's like possums, like throwing a Molotov cocktail or like cursing.
But they're
as, like,
tattoos, not just like graphic art.
no. Like, this is a tattoo artist, and he's like, if you want these.
And most of his tattoos are possums.
There's like possums and toads and stuff, but it's like a wizard possum casting like
there was
a spell.
Billy has come around. My husband Billy has come around to possums and like, and they're so ugly they're cute instead of just they're horrifying. But it's been a joke where I'm just like constantly trolling with possums. I'm like, it's like because they're kind of ugly when they snarl and they have the
but face. So are a lot of things.
So are a lot of people.
Yeah, humans are pretty ugly sometimes when you just see all teeth.
Yes,
like that's not attractive.
But I was when
Julia Roberts is a little terrifying sometimes.
It's like the showing of the teeth. It's like she and Walton Goggins sort of occupy the same. There's a Venn diagram
where their jaws unhinge. There's all teeth.
Oh God, I'm never going to be able to see that whenever I see either of them on television. Oh, that's something to look forward to.
Yeah, you're welcome.
But possum. So I was still like last year. We went to New Orleans, which we've gone to regularly before because Billy grew up like an hour outside of there. But we went just because we were going there for something else, and it happened to time with Mardi Gras, and it was the week before Fat Tuesday. Which, fun fact, that's the perfect time to go because you're fully in the swing of things, but it's not before it gets batshit crazy and hotels cost 3 times as much. So we're walking around the French Quarter, everything like we're maybe like I don't know 5 blocks over from Bourbon Street, and most of the businesses are closed. But there's this one gift shop, just like random tchotchkes arts or whatever, like gift shop art gallery. And they have a whole ass window display that's just Mardi Gras possums. And I was so fucking pleased. It was like the universe just willed it to me. And I was like, Billy, take it all in.
I love that.
I'll send you a photo of it later
because
it's pretty wonderful.
The thing I love more than that, though, and I was going to let it go in the first time, but I needed to bring it up the second time. You know that you're married to someone that grew up near New Orleans because you said Mardi Gras.
But it didn't sound douchey like
No.
Okay.
It wasn't like my friend who would always say Tabasco. No, it was not that. But it was just like Mardi Gras.
Mardi Gras. I mean, I don't do Mardi Gras. I go Mardi Gras.
Mardi Gras.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that R gets swallowed.
It's a little thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas I feel like in California, most people, and I'm not one to talk.
Mardi Gras.
I'd
like a beignet.
A beignet.
Beignet. Yeah, it was so bad that no one's going to know what it is. Yeah, though. And so, yeah, just possum display. And then Billy took a ridiculous photo of me, blurry, and said baby's first Mardi Gras. And I'm like, have my mouth open. It's blurry. And
you look like a possum.
No, I look.
Mouth open.
Well, I don't know if I look like a possum, but my mother then posted a photo. This is really off track. My mother has this Labrador, the black lab that she's obsessed with, and I think that's her favorite child now. And she brings her to this doggy daycare where every Thursday they do like a theme and they have like a little backdrop and they take a photo of them in front of this backdrop. And they had like a Mardi Gras backdrop and and this dog's like goofy on its best day. It also has a long snout, kind of like, not unlike a possum. And if I thought that my mom's very smart, but this is not her type of humor. If I didn't know my mom, I would have thought that she'd planned this because she posted this picture and Luna, the dog, has her mouth open. Her face is at the exact same angle mine is of this photo that Billy posted and in front of a Mardi Gras background. And it's almost a perfect replica. And I was like, is my mom trolling me? If not, this is she should just lie and say it was on purpose because it's brilliant.
So
E.T.
tiny possum baby ETs.
Yes. So they call it. But then the best part is at the end, after you go through this planet and everyone does a celebration and it looks like the sea life in Under the Sea from Little Mermaid.
Yeah.
That's kind of coral. It kind of looks like something else. Again, don't really worry about what species is. It's not important. It's colorful.
They didn't think about it too hard, which is why they, I think, closed it eventually.
Well, no, they closed it to backtrack again, we should have like a little tally counter at when you're editing. Ding! Yeah. The music throughout the actual ride, especially at the very victorious end, John Williams, who wrote the score for the movie, he wrote a special adaptation of the score specifically for the ride.
That's cool.
It is cool. But again, these little bits of movie history, and they're just like, fuck that. No.
Was it because it was costing money to keep giving Amblin Entertainment money for E.T.?
Well, no, because Amblin Entertainment has their, I was gonna say something really crude. Has a chokehold on a lot of stuff Universal does. But wait, let me tell you about the best part and everyone's favorite part. Even the people who thought the ride was boring, everyone's favorite part of the ride. So you gave your name. Yeah. Again, brought to you by AT&T. You hand your passport, brought to you by AT&T, that you originally had gotten when you gave the nice person your name. You hand it, and then at the end of the ride, E.T. is standing at a little pedestal after you've already returned to Earth. So presumably he just
he came back.
Yeah, he knows how to get back and forth now. The portal's been reopened, so he just wanted to make sure, like when you text someone and go, "Hey, just let me know when you text me when you got home safe." Yeah. And he goes, "Goodbye." Like, so if it was the four of us, it'd be like, "Goodbye, Lex, Allison, Christopher, Billy," and you're like, "Elliot said, or E.T. said my fucking name. He thanked me personally. Oh my god, it's the most thing." And I felt that every single time.
I wonder if there was, because it's not Disney, if people started gaming the system and they started writing like, "This is not my name."
Well, you didn't write it; you gave it to them, and they had like it was so. And this is something I just learned, like when I was looking up stuff for this podcast. First off, I learned what the technology was, which I kind of knew everyone kind of knew some version of it, but what it actually was not entirely what I had guessed. But he was programmed to know like 200,000 names. If he could not pronounce your name,
that's what I was going to ask the other question.
It would be like, "Goodbye, friend."
And
rude. I know. Imagine if you have I feel like I heard some I think they may have added it. Like, I don't know if when they built it, E.T. knew how to say Mohammed or something that was not as
white.
As white. Yeah.
It was 92.
But there were teenagers who definitely tried to be like, Butts McGee or something.
I would love. Real Bart Simpson energy.
That's the most tame thing I could have said.
It really was. Wow. What a rule breaker. Love me, corporate daddy. That's what you said. I love AT&T, and I will not besmirch them by making AT&T ETs say
Gee golly, Butts McGee. You're going to get no supper for you. But no, apparently if you did try to as a dumb teenager, I'm going to give something gross, they would just
Friend,
yeah.
Friend.
Yeah, but the way they did it is I thought that it was they just because I feel like once I didn't actually even hand in my passport or I had the ticket, they did, or I thought it was maybe it's attached to the card or maybe that's a misdirect and they actually just count you in the order with which you came in. No, you handed your passport. So again, in this scenario, us and our respective spouses were on this ride and we would all hand the cards and they would know that Lex, Allison, Chris, and Billy are on this train, this structure, whatever they call it. And then it would attach to an RFID chip or a radio frequency thing. And that was how I knew what the names were.
Oh.
Now all the magic has died. You're welcome.
Well, just like the ride.
A dagger to my heart.
No, I think you have brought back more good memories of this experience than bad ones. Because if you would, at the beginning of this, you said this, and I was just like, oh no, horrifying. But the smell, I think, is really the.
Did you remember what you found terrifying before I mentioned the thing about the truck? Or you're like, I can't put my finger on.
No, I couldn't put my finger on it. Other than I remember, I was not a big fan of the movie. I remember being a little terrified of the movie as a kid too. The thing when
they have him in the lab and he turns white, that I saw that as a 30-year-old, and I was like, that's really upsetting.
That's terrifying when they're in isolation and they're being ripped away from the parent. It's not a children's movie.
It is very upsetting. Yes. God, why did my parents let me see that at such a young age?
Because everyone did. We all saw everything.
I also saw Speed at
I saw Braveheart.
I think I saw Braveheart too. I remember none of it.
No, I remember him being disemboweled.
Oh, I don't even remember that now. I don't think I've watched it as an adult because I don't care.
Terrifying. No, I don't need to see it. But I am now will have slightly remembering fond memories because I have an adult brain now that isn't as impressionable as a child's brain that only remembers horror and trauma.
Now, I will say, I was ready to just be and it was a travesty and they should have never. I still feel like it's bullshit that they closed it for different reasons. But I will say, so they still have the one and I'll get back to this, they still have the Florida location. And so they had like a recording of like the ride through, like the whole start to finish. And I did watch it today and I was like, oh shit, those animatronics are so janky.
Like ass, yeah.
And I was like, and I was a little like, oh man, this is taking some wind out of my sails in preparation for the podcast.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Do you know what they replaced it with?
Yes, I do. The Mummy ride.
Okay, I have heard the Mummy ride's good though.
I have only gone it once. I refused to for like 10 years out of like protests.
But is it like, Tom Cruise Mummy?
No, it was it. So
or is it
closed
Brendan Fraser Mummy?
Brendan Fraser Mummy, yeah, because they closed. They opened the Hollywood one in 90. It's like the year after Florida. It's like 91, 92. And then they closed it in 2003 to make room for the Mummy ride. And I was so pissed because, first off, I didn't really see the Mummy movie, so I'm sure that was, biased. I didn't care. But like the E.T. is a core iconic movie. It's like the second movie that Amblin had done. And again, like, they're just sucking Spielberg's dick all the time. There, I'll be crude. It makes up for Butts McGee. And I like, they replaced it with this flash in the pan Mummy, which I still kind of think. I think the Mummy franchise is dumb. But it's not, but I'm saying it's not iconic. I think of E.T. as this
I think a lot of bisexuals would disagree with you.
But, okay.
This is the straightest thing about you that you're like, oh, fuck Mummy.
What's the straightest thing about me?
Yeah.
You know what? That's fair. I can't really argue with that. Because I get the logic. I'm like, oh yeah, those are two very attractive people.
Oh,
and
two, everyone.
Who I'm thinking of Brendan Fraser and
Brendan Fraser, Rachel Weisz. Then there was
again, I've never seen them all, any of them all.
The Mummy, the titular Mummy, and his lover, and there was the guy.
They had a male,
a female lover.
Oh, okay. I was like, wow, Mummy, I maybe have a new.
She was the queen
for you.
She was the queen.
Oh, okay.
And the guide, the mystic general. We don't know where they're from, other than probably Egypt, but it didn't.
The Middle East.
Yeah.
Place where sand is.
So sexy.
Okay. That's fair. But I mean, I don't think they were caring about the bisexual community in 2001 or whatever. Mm. They were just like, this is new. And I think that they thought that the E.T. ride was antiquated, which it is.
It was.
But it was, honestly, that was the beginning of just a bad pattern, in my humble opinion, with Universal. So, like, I get that you need to keep things fresh, but like,
where's history?
Yeah. I mean, and the tram was really the ultimate heartbreak. Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, am I just feeling this because of my age? I actually wanted to, and I didn't have enough time, put out like a Insta story poll, like, quick, if you're under 30, what are your, like, do you feel strongly, mid, or about E.T.? And then if you're over 30, what are your thoughts? Like, I was going to come with some graphs and shit, and I didn't have time to. So
no, you're fine. You've done a good job. I think I can reasonably have more good memories than bad memories after this conversation.
Yeah. And they also got rid of, and here's the thing that I'm such a hypocrite, what I'm not upset about, or I'm not as upset about, is Back to the Future, the ride.
Wow.
Because, well, I love Back to the Future more than I love E.T. I have a strong connection to Back to the Future. But they switched it with The Simpsons, and I love The Simpsons, so it's very self-serving.
Oh, you're a hypocrite.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being on the show, Allison. Where can our listeners find more of your hot takes?
Hot takes.
Watch your straight life. No bisexual antics.
The next time I'm on your podcast. Instagram. I don't know if I shout out my husband, Billy Roach, possible future guest, is a very talented artist, and you can go see it's either the Billy Roach art or Billy Roach art.
What a loving partner.
How about this? You follow me, Ali J. Soros, on Instagram. I tag him in a lot of shit. He's a tall, redheaded, bearded man. If you go to his profile, there in his bio, there's a link to his art page.
Perfect.
I made this so easy for you.
Thank you. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe. We don't pay for any advertising, so it really is word of mouth. Tell us in a review what your thoughts, if you have a memory of E.T., if you have another ride that's like, oh no, this is the one that was it. I'd love to hear it. And then you can, if you're listening on Spotify or YouTube, wherever, you could review or rate something, probably.
Tell people that it's cool.
Yeah. And just tell people. Exactly. Word of mouth is truly everything. And what's great about this podcast is there's an episode for everyone, and then they get hooked.
Gee golly, a guess is really the bee's knees.
See, Allison already wrote it for you. So join us next time as we once again prove that my opinion is always correct about everything all the time.